Hello Trinacat viewers, Trinacat here with some more Fallout New Vegas. Now today a special giveaway for patrons of the channel, a PC Premium Edition code for Battlefield Hardline to give away. Now I wanted to put the competition out to all the subs, but the patrons, you know, I don't do enough for those guys after the stalwart work that they do to keep this channel alive, so it's a competition just for patrons, I'm afraid. The competition is I'm going to play 5 pieces of music from video games, and you got to guess which 5 games they are. Make sure you put your answers on the patron page. That way I know for sure you're a patron, otherwise I won't know if you just comment under the video. So just guess what the 5 video games are, and the first to get them up there will win that code, or whoever gets them. You know, I mean, some people might not even get it though. The people who get the closest, if you only get 4 and that's the best anybody ever gets, well, you'll get the code. For the rest of the subs, if you guess in the comments below, first to get the 5 right, you'll get the TJ Laser ringtone pack. Without further ado, let's play those incredible tracks. Now, number 1. And number 2. And number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Okay, there were the 5 different games. You gotta get, well, whoever can get the closest to getting them all wins that fucking code. And I think we have another code too after that to give away, so we might do another competition early next week or whatever. So yeah, video game music, you gotta love it. Each one of those games is from a different generation, I think. One of them was from the last gen before that, etc. Some old retro games there, you'll notice. Anyone who's been a fan of the channel knows that I'm a big game music fan. I kind of prefer the music from the good old 16-bit era. That's my favorite kind of sound. I don't know what it is about it. It's just something more stylish about old game music than today's stuff. Today's stuff's all, yeah, it's all composed with big orchestras and it sounds more professional, but I think because it sounds more professional, they don't make as much effort with actually coming up with original themes. I mean, most game music today, just even like Fallout here, it's just ambience really. It's not very it's not memorable like the Mario music was, or the Sonic music, or Street Fighter 2. You know, it's not the tunes don't stick in your head. I think because the sound chips were so limited back then, they had to come up with a good theme, otherwise you wouldn't even want to listen to it. So I mean, a lot of 80s retro stuff is kind of all the rage now, isn't it? Like, there's this pretty cool music you should check out on YouTube called, I don't know what the technical term for it is, but it's retro new wave or Synthwave, or there's a channel called Maniac Synth, and they upload loads of good old, it's like a 80s sound, but made by modern composer people with like I don't know what they used to create the sound, but it does sound very similar to... well, it sounds like it came out of the 80s, you know. I mean, some of it's a bit repetitive. If you listen to a lot of it, it all sounds the fucking same after a while. It's not as good as the best 80s stuff, really, but it's pretty cool, though. I've been listening to it a lot. Look at my unit here, kicking ass. He's armed with those dual-wielding samurai laser swords. It's part of the DLC of the gun I'm using right here. Shogo Industries. Pretty powerful. At this point, my unit and me was overpowered. Taking out the trash just in seconds. Which kind of makes the game a bit too easy in a way, but at the same time, it's fun. Yeah, so some of my favorite game music, say on the Mega Drive or the Genesis, as the Americans call it. Streets of Rage 1 and 2 was really good, and Sonic 1 was pretty good. What else was pretty good? I've actually got, let me check it out here on iTunes, into the games. I put it all in its own playlist folder, all the different games. I've got 4,018 songs. It would take 5.7 days to listen to it all. I've got 2 hours worth of Amiga songs, apparently. 12 hours worth of arcade songs, and that's the sort of the arcades of the late 80s and the early 90s era. I put the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive Genesis in its own folder, and that's 774 songs, 21 hours of shit. Dreamcast, 11 hours worth of tracks. Don't have that many tracks for soundtracks from the Dreamcast, actually. But I did love that console, even though it was very short-lived. It was probably Sega's best ever console. It was a shame it bombed. Apparently it bombed in Japan. I don't know why. It was super Japanesey with that weird-ass controller. I don't know. PC, which covers technically a lot of games, but because I've never really been a PC gamer up until I started doing YouTube, I've got hardly any games in there. I can actually list them. I've got Fallout 2, Half-Life 2, Total War Shogun 2, World of Warcraft. That's it. PlayStation, which I think I've got basically PlayStation 1 and 2 in that folder. 1,088 songs. 2 days it would take you to listen to all that shit. I've got the Resident Evil series in its own fucking folder because there's so many of those games. That's 12 hours worth of music right there. The Saturn, 3 hours of music. Not that much for that thing either. I did own a Saturn. The Xbox 360, because I never even owned an Xbox One. That's 475 tracks. 19 hours of shit. I think that's all I've got. And I've got some game remix stuff. So yeah. Game music. I think the reason I used to like it is because I always wanted to be a film director, so instrumental type music, film scores, and you know, game music is sort of like electronic-y film scores. Used to inspire me to come up with movie ideas when I'd listen to it. I mean, my film soundtracks take up 5,621 tracks, 11 days to listen to it all. I've got tons of film soundtracks. So yeah, just to remind people again, if you're a patron, answer those 5 game tracks on the Patreon page. And if you're a subscriber, do it in the comments and get a TJ Laser ringtone pack. There might be another code for the competition next week. I've actually got to go into game today and try and trade in anyway my PS3 with all of its games to knock off some money for the PS4. Uh-oh, boulder. Boulder. Remember that bit in New Vegas. Because I need to get one in time for Bloodborne on Tuesday, is it? It comes out. Looking forward to that. I'm going to try and get a TJ laser up this weekend too. It's just if I've got time to quickly get it done. I've written it and voiced it. Hopefully enough footage for an episode it's going to have to be. You just got to edit it now. So hopefully that'll be up by Saturday, Sunday. Because I don't know when the next TJ laser will be after that. Because Bloodborne, this channel's going to turn into channel Bloodborne pretty much till we're finished with the game. And supposed to do it really quick because we want it done before GTA comes out. In a way, I wouldn't mind if GTA got postponed a little bit again. Just to dedicate some time to Bloodborne. No games come out for ages and then fucking 50 at the same time. It's so goddamn annoying. I mean, write in the comments below, what are your favourite game soundtracks? Are any of you game soundtrack fanboys like me? I know some people don't get it. I had an ex-girlfriend who fucking couldn't stand the stuff. I mean, I never listen to that music like that around anybody else. It's more on your own when you're chilling out, you know. Or when I'm writing, I like to listen to it. And also, I think a lot of it just reminds me of my good old childhood of the 16-bit era. When actually I was talking about it with Gio, which was better, the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo, because I own both. And I remember I got a Mega Drive pretty much the same year that the Super Nintendo came out. And I remember straight away kind of being like, well, you know, I'd rather have a Super Nintendo now. But it took me ages to get my mum to buy me the goddamn Mega Drive. I wanted an Amiga, and they were like 400 fucking quid. So she was like, kiss my ass, you're having an Amiga. I know it had a Specky, ZX Spectrum. So the best she'd get me was another Spectrum. I had the 48K, and she got me the 128K one. Think about that. 128K, that was its memory. That's ridiculous. I think she got me that second hand with like, I think it was about 70 quid with about 50 games, and she's thinking, well, 50 games, that's got to be worth it. But it's like, yeah, 50 shit games though. You don't really want to play more than one time, so it's kind of like a waste of money, really. So I kept bugging her, and eventually she got me a. Well, then I kept bugging her for a Mega Drive, and then instead she went, "What's this? This Sega Master System? What about that? That's only like 60 quid." And I'd never even heard of it because I'd only just got into games. So I was like, I don't know. And I had a look at it, and the graphics were obviously crap compared to the Mega Drive, but they were way better than the fucking Specky. So I was like, okay, I'll have that, because it had some arcade games on it that I like it had Dynamite Duke. I remember I played that arcade on holiday once. I thought it was awesome. And they would just announced the Sonic game they were making for it, so it was pretty exciting still. And I got that thing, but after 4 months of that thing, I was bugging it for a Mega Drive again. Because it was shit, the Master System, to be honest. It was better graphics than, say, the Nintendo, but its games were way worse, you know. They were just really poor ports of arcade games like Golden Axe and Altered Beast, and it wasn't even 2-player. They were like 1-player, most of them. I remember Strider on it, what a pile of shit that was. I think the only decent games it had was the Sonic game was okay. There was an Asterix game, platformer, Castle of Illusion. They were all okay. But other than that, it sucked. Only about 8 months later, I got a Mega Drive, and the energy caved and got me. I say my mum, both my mum and my dad, or whatever. But I wanted a Super Nintendo straight away, though. I just thought, even though I wasn't a Nintendo fanboy, I hadn't even owned one. I could just tell it was better than the Mega Drive, you know. It just had a better style to it, you know. Think about the classics that were on that fucker. I mean, Zelda 3, which is still one of my favourite games ever. You had Street Fighter 2 ages before the Mega Drive ever got it, like a couple of years probably. At least a year. Mario World, of course. Super Mario All-Stars, which was all the Nintendo Marios ported over, but with better graphics. That was really good. Mario Kart was a classic. Super Metroid, all the Mega Mans, all the Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger. You know, Zombies, Bomberman 1 and 2. Oh, there were so many. Classic machine. Super Contra 3, of course, that was great. Maybe the most fun console I ever owned, perhaps, the Super Nintendo. I think people were like, well, the Mega Drive, Genesis, whatever, was considered cooler. But who cares if the games were not as good? To me, even though like Mario and Zelda, they look kind of childish, they play so well though, that I think they're for all ages. It's not about Mario's style, it's just cool. Still, to me, as an adult now, it's kind of cool. Although I haven't owned a Nintendo machine since the N64. The GameCube, I borrowed a GameCube off my mate and played all of the there was only about 5 or 6 games I wanted to play on it, that's why I never got one. And I hated the Wii and the burning need. Just playing with that silly ass controller that you wobble around. It was good if you were drunk at like a party with friends or family around or whatever, but I would never have wanted to play it in my free time. Couldn't stand that controller. Plus the graphics were dog shit. They kind of looked even worse than the GameCube. And the Wii U, it just seems like I hear the word Wii again. Oh, I'm not interested. Kind of waiting for Nintendo to get back to the genius again. Plus, I believe Nintendo don't allow people to upload YouTube vids, I believe. They just don't let them. Which I think is a mistake. Kids today love this whole YouTube scene. I think some games have been hits because of certain YouTubers playing them, from what I understand. Nintendo, they need to stay hip to the kids. Don't let the kids not even know your console exists. Anyway, that was the Fallout Bridge for today. Incredible competition. So, enter it now, game music fans. You'll love it. See you later.